Hello everyone. Oh, wait a minute. Isn't it time for your little dose of news? Yes, it's the moment. So news, yes, but about MMOs and multiplayer games, that's already quite something. In this video, for the main news, I suggest we talk about Ashes of Creation, World of Warcraft, Throne and Liberty, the First Descendant, and of course, Aion 2. For quick news segment, I've got Valheim, Fellowship, Ammo and Oxygen, Daemon X Machina, Titanic Scion and Borderlands 4. As always, if you enjoyed the video's content, don't hesitate to show it by dropping a little thumbs up before you go. It's always appreciated. And now that we all know the lineup for this video, I think it's time to dive into the news. It was apparently only a matter of time before Blizzard decided to take legal action against Turtle WoW. Turtle WoW is a private World of Warcraft server that has gained significant popularity among fans of the game in recent years. Before moving forward, it might be worth taking a moment to explain what Turtle WoW is. On the private server's website, it's described as a version of World of Warcraft created by fans of the game's vanilla version. This version aims to expand on the original game's story while taking a different path from the official version. In simple terms, it's an unofficial version of WoW Classic that goes far beyond what Blizzard offers. Turtle WoW provides a wealth of additional content, including a plethora of dungeons, raids, zones, quests, playable races and classes, new skills, improved guild management, including the ability to rent a tavern, and a host of other content and features not found in the official game. How could I phrase a sentence about Turtle WoW without offending the most passionate fans of Blizzard's MMO? Turtle WoW is the kind of classic version that a company like Blizzard could easily offer players if it got its act together and stopped settling for the bare minimum while raking in maximum profits. This private server had announced the development of a version of World of Warcraft using the Unreal Engine 5. Let me clarify that I'm absolutely not endorsing the existence of a private World of Warcraft server, and Blizzard is entirely within its rights to pursue legal action against Turtle WoW's operators. Back to the news, Blizzard has filed a lawsuit against Turtle WoW's operators, accusing them of building an entire business based on violating Blizzard's intellectual property. In its complaint, Blizzard highlights how Turtle WoW has used and modified original assets, artwork, and game interfaces without any authorization, even going so far as to plan a Turtle WoW 2.0 recreated with Unreal Engine 5. According to Blizzard, all of this was accompanied by a visibility strategy on social media and collaborations with influencers, with the intent of diverting users from World of Warcraft. The lawsuit also points out that Turtle WoW's creators have allegedly earned millions of dollars through donations obtained by encouraging hundreds of thousands of users to violate the contracts agreed upon when signing up for Blizzard's official services. Furthermore, the company emphasizes that it has invested 20 years of resources and creative talent to develop and maintain World of Warcraft, and it claims that initiatives like Turtle WoW not only harm the brand's economy, but also devalue the work of the programmers, artists, and designers who have always been involved in the project. For this reason, Blizzard is seeking the permanent shutdown of the server, the surrender of all copies of the data used, a full accounting of profits made, the sale of the Turtle WoW domain, and the payment of damages and legal fees. The private server's operators have no intention of backing down and have reassured fans on the game's Discord server, stating that they are ready to fight the legal battle and defend their creation. In the info bar, you'll find the link to the copy of the lawsuit if you're curious. I now invite you to catch up on some news about the First Descendant, a multiplayer free-to-play looter-shooter. As a reminder, the game is available on PC as well as on Xbox Series and PlayStation 5 consoles. On September 4th, the South Korean company Nexon released a new content update for the First Descendant. First, a new personal space called The Lounge has been introduced. In simple terms, it's a basic version of housing. Located in Albion, this personal space allows players to relax between missions. Players can display their collectibles and characters while customizing areas like the living room, showroom or bedroom, with options to adjust lighting and weather ambiance. The descendants placed in your lounge won't be completely idle. They might talk to you or engage in activities like sitting on a couch to play an instrument or draw. It will also be possible to visit other players' personal spaces, but this feature will be added in a future update. A new descendant has also been added, the Ultimate Luna. Her release comes with an exclusive story quest revealing her backstory. Ultimate Luna has two unique modules to customize her combat style, one for dealing long-range damage and another related to firearms. The update also introduces new trigger modules with powerful effects, which can be found in the Axion Plains. Additionally, a new companion dog is included to accompany you on missions. This dog has a unique ability to restore Descendants' mana points, providing strong support for characters that primarily deal damage through skills. Other improvements include the ability to view top players' builds via leaderboards, optimized inventory filters, and enhancements to group search and hoverbike vehicle management. Balance adjustments have also been made to certain characters like Lepic, Blair, Freyna, and Bunny. Regarding Blair, the studio mentions a rework aimed at improving his abilities. He now has better mobility, allowing him to regroup with allies more easily, and improved synergy with his grenades. Burn effects are more effective, and his second skill now grants a rapid-fire burst, resulting in higher DPS. This is only a broad overview of the new update. For more details, I encourage you to check out the patch notes provided by the studio. You can find the link to the patch notes in the info bar. Last week, I shared some information about the upcoming major update for the MMORPG Throne and Liberty. We looked at the main new features of this update, such as the introduction of housing and the orb, a brand new weapon. I also briefly mentioned the launch of new servers called Hyperboost without going into details. Named Solysium's Awakening, this free update is scheduled for September 18th. This week, I'm providing more details about these Hyperboost servers. As a quick reminder, Throne and Liberty is an MMO developed by NCSoft and published in our region by Amazon Games. The game is available for free on PC as well as on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles. Hyperboost servers offer players a set of bonuses and mechanics designed to accelerate progression. These servers provide a fresh start with new characters, ensuring everyone begins on equal footing. According to Amazon Games, this is intended to be an easier and less intimidating entry point for new players, while also offering a renewed experience for existing ones. The goal is clear: make Throne and Liberty more accessible to new players, encourage returning players, and allow everyone to reach high-level content more quickly. One of the main bonuses is an increased acquisition rate for resources essential to progression, such as gear upgrade materials. Players will be able to obtain these resources much faster, enabling them to boost their combat power more quickly. Additionally, new character development support missions will be available, offering special rewards. These rewards are tied to reaching specific levels, completing content, and upgrading gear. As a result, players will also progress by achieving certain objectives. Hyperboost servers will thus save time on the early stages, allowing you to dive into the core of the game more quickly, such as raids, housing, PvP, dimensional trials, and all high-level content. Amazon Games states that with Hyperboost servers, it's never too late to start. If you're considering returning to the game or hesitant to begin your adventure, September 18th could be a great opportunity for you. The Intrepid studio, currently developing the MMORPG Ashes of Creation, offered a live stream on August 30th. The studio regularly hosts streams to share updates on the game's development progress. The studio director, Stephen Sharif, discussed the third phase of Ashes of Creation's Alpha 2, which began on August the 27th. He acknowledged that this Phase 3 has its share of bugs and that the studio has received several complaints from the community regarding character progression. Stephen Sharif admitted to some of the most severe bugs introduced in the new version, particularly with the lumen lighting system in the graphics engine, which isn't functioning properly in the new zones. He noted that the developers are collecting extensive data on level balancing and the time required to earn experience points, stating that this aspect will be improved over the next 2 months. The studio also explained that it successfully repelled 5 distinct DDoS attacks, each neutralized within an hour. Despite the high number of players on the first day and the resulting queues, the servers performed well under heavy load. The process of obtaining the game's best equipment was explained during the stream. Players will have 2 ways to acquire top-tier gear: through raids and crafting. Raid bosses will provide the highest quality gear, as well as rare recipes and components. These rare recipes and components will allow master crafters to create gear with power equivalent to raid gear. Additionally, crafters will have the opportunity to enhance these items further using high-quality materials, advanced enhancement techniques, and unique enchantments, making both activities equally important for high-level progression. A significant change in the game's terminology was announced. The key world development system, previously known as nodes, will now officially be called settlements. This change aims to make the concept more intuitive for new players, as the term node was more of an internal development name. The team admitted that both players and developers will need time to adjust to this new term. During the live stream, the developers discussed upcoming updates. We learned that the next major update, titled The Harbingers: Engines of Chaos, will introduce a new gameplay mechanic involving celestial bodies resembling comets that crash into the game world, corrupting surrounding territories. This update will officially introduce the world's main antagonists, the Ancients, and new gameplay systems associated with them. This update is currently scheduled for November 18th. It will primarily introduce corrupted zones in the game world, where PvPvE events will be triggered based on player actions, featuring corrupted resource variants and gameplay focused on combating this corruption. The update will also include deep-sea fishing, the Summoner class, a new world boss, and additional features related to the economy. The studio also stated that it is preparing to transition the game to the beta phase, which will be the next major milestone. While exact dates and criteria for moving to beta have not yet been announced, the developers assured that all their internal efforts are now focused in this direction. If you want all the details, you can watch the nearly 2-hour stream replay with the link available in the info bar. As a reminder, to access this testing phase, you need to purchase access, which is available on the game's official website for $100. This price includes access to the game, a 1-month subscription valued at $15 and $15 worth of Ember, the in-game currency used to purchase cosmetic items. On September 11th, the South Korean company NCSoft held its third live stream dedicated to Aion 2, their upcoming MMORPG. On the same day, I released a video covering the information shared by NCSoft during their stream. Naturally, I'll be talking about Aion 2 again in this video. I can't skip mentioning Aion 2 in this week's MMO and multiplayer game news roundup. However, I won't go into as much detail as I did in the dedicated video from September 11th. Titled Aion Tonight, the live stream was hosted by the business manager and the lead producer of Aion 2. The release schedule for Aion 2 was on the agenda. To temper expectations, this launch roadmap only applies to South Korea and Taiwan. In these two countries, players will be able to reserve their character names from October 16th to 20th. From November 13th to 16th, attendees of the G-Star 2025 Expo will have the chance to play a demo version on site. NCSoft is also the main sponsor of G-Star 2025. Then from November 16th to 18th, right after G-Star 2025, the game will be available for pre-download in South Korea and Taiwan. The official release is scheduled for Wednesday, November 19th at midnight in South Korea and 1 hour earlier in Taiwan due to the time difference, meaning November 18th at 11 p.m. for Taiwan. The game's release in the West is still planned for 2026. Pre-registrations are already open in the two countries, offering bonuses such as a mountain wings. Now that you're aware of the release schedule, let's move on to some of the details shared during the Aion 2 stream. The community has raised concerns about the game's user interface, which appears designed for mobile devices despite the game primarily targeting PCs. The developers explained that this was due to time constraints, leading them to prioritize a mobile version of the interface, which was then adapted for PC. The PC interface shown is not final. The studio promises an optimized PC interface in future updates, featuring better window layouts and more customization options to meet PC players' expectations. The game will be fully manual on both PC and mobile. The mobile version will not include any automatic or semi-automatic combat modes. Unlike the original Aion, in Aion 2, players can teleport directly to dungeon entrances via the interface to focus on the story and early progression. However, PvP remains a key feature, with the Abyss hosting dungeon entrances that encourage faction-based conflicts. Killing enemy players in the Abyss will grant additional points, providing a strong incentive to engage in battles. The developers also noted that players killed by others in the Abyss cannot resurrect on the spot, making each encounter particularly high stakes. Kisks will be present in Aion 2, serving as resurrection points. The auction house will operate exclusively with Kina, the in-game currency earned through gameplay. The studio also confirmed a currency exchange system, allowing players to trade Kina, the free in-game currency, for Kuna, the premium currency, and vice versa. This means players who don't want to spend real money can still acquire premium currency using Kina earned in-game. Regarding monetization, the game will offer an optional subscription, providing benefits like additional auction house slots, as well as a battle pass system with extra rewards. All cosmetic items, costumes, weapon skins, pets, and wings will be sold at fixed prices without a gacha system. These cosmetics will not provide any stat boosts. The studio assures that players won't need to spend real money to improve their combat performance, allowing them to focus on enjoying the game. I'll stop here regarding the Aion 2 details revealed during the developer's stream. As mentioned at the start, you can find a dedicated video with more information on the channel. I've included the link to that video in the info bar. And here we are with our quick news segment. In this part of the video, we'll dive straight into various news updates, getting right to the point. To start, let's catch up on some news about Valheim, a game released in February 2021. Developed by Iron Gate Studio and published by Coffee Stain, Valheim is a multiplayer exploration and survival game. As a reminder, it's still in early access since 2021. This week's news about Valheim centers on the arrival of a brand new update called Call to Arms. While it doesn't introduce a new biome, this update brings several new features. Among them them are new combat mechanics and an overall improvement to combat, new equipable trinkets, a new skill, new creatures, several new weapons, new armor, new crafting materials, and even new hairstyles and beards. Additionally, Valheim is currently on sale on Steam until September 15th. You can grab it at a 50% discount, bringing the price down to €9.99 instead of €19.99. If you're interested, you'll find the link to Valheim's Steam page in the info bar. Moving on to Fellowship, a game developed by Chief Rebel Studio and published by Arc Games. We've talked about Fellowship regularly, and as a recap, it's a game where you explore a variety of dungeons in groups, adhering to the classic trinity of tank, healer, and DPS roles. Originally, the game was set to launch in early access on October 9th. The news here is that the release has been postponed to October 16th. Fellowship will be buy to play, and there's no change to the open beta, which is still scheduled from September 18th at 7 p.m. Paris time to September 23rd at the same time. This open beta, accessible to everyone for free, will be available on Steam. As usual, you'll find the link to Fellowship's Steam page in the info bar. Let's move on to Ammo and Oxygen, a game developed and published by the Russian studio Jufti Worlds, known for the MMORPGs Wild Terra Online and Wild Terra 2 New Lands. This week's news about Ammo and Oxygen is its official release. The game has been in early access since November last year, and as of September 6th, it's now officially available in version 1.0. To mark the occasion, the game is discounted on Steam for €11.83 until September 14th. Ammo and Oxygen is described as a roguelike shooter with survival and suspense elements. If the game piques your interest, you'll find the link to its Steam page in the info bar. Next up is the release of another new game, Daemon X Machina, Titanic Scion, developed by Marvelous and published by Xseed Games. The game launched on September 5th. In simple terms, this is a third-person mech action game. It can be played solo but also supports cooperative multiplayer. The platforms for its September 5th release include the Nintendo Switch 2, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC via Steam. The game is paid, with the standard edition priced at €69.99 on Steam. The good news is that the studio also offers a playable demo. If you're interested, you'll find links to the official website and the game's Steam page in the info bar. Let's move on to what I believe is the video game release of the week, Borderlands 4, developed by Gearbox Software and published by 2K. This new installment in the Borderlands series can be played solo or in co-op. As is tradition with the Borderlands series, the game is filled with an array of increasingly bizarre and wild weapons. It also offers more dynamic movement than previous entries, including double jumps, slides, dodges, and a grappling hook system. As for co-op, you can play with up to 3 friends for a maximum of 4 players per session. In the first 24 hours of its release, the game surpassed 200,000 concurrent players on PC via Steam, a solid start. However, the game's Steam ratings are less stellar. In the initial hours of its PC release, reviews were mixed, with only about 40% positive feedback, largely due to complaints about optimization issues. As of the making of this video, Borderlands 4 is still rated as mixed, though the percentage of positive reviews has increased to 61%. If the game interests you, it's available on PC, Xbox Series, and PlayStation 5, with a Nintendo Switch 2 release planned for later. And there you go, my little gamer friends, we've reached the end of this new video dedicated to MMO and multiplayer game news. I sincerely hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I invite you to show it by giving a little thumbs up, because yes, it's always appreciated. If you've just subscribed to the channel, know that I'm thrilled to welcome you among us, and if you were already subscribed, then I thank you for your loyalty. It's now time for me to say goodbye and wish you fantastic gaming sessions, no matter which game you play, because the main thing here is to have fun.